Assalamualaikum. This is Azizullah Jamali from Sindhu University Larkana campus. I am the student of BBA 2K20 batch. So today I am going to discuss about my topic, which is given by Ma'am Hinasha. So I will discuss and describe the topic step by step. So first of all, I am going to describe ideology. So, ideology. Ideology, what's the meaning of the ideology? Ideology, the thoughts, what you thought about the particular culture, what you thought about environment, what is your set of thoughts, what you thought the society, what is going, then what is your particular opinions and ideas on in the environment and socials. So it is the system of the thoughts, and ideology is a set of opinion or belief of group on an individual. Very often ideology refers to set of political belief or set of ideas that characterize a particular culture. As I said that mostly persons he shares his thoughts and ideas on the politicals that he wants some changing. He thought about that he wants as I say, he wants changing, and the ideology of his he share for his country. So ideology is your thinking set, is a thought set, what you thought, what is belief you are for the particular topic. Second is how Jinnah ideology shaped Pakistan identity. So Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah, what was the Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah's ideology about Pakistan's, and how he acted and how Pakistan come into being. So first of all, according to Jinnah's ideology, the Muslims are a nation by every right to establish their separate homelands. So it's a fight for the Muslims. So Qaid Adam's ideology was for the Muslims, that he said that Muslims are the separate. Muslims should be separate, make separate the nations, as they be free, as they do what they want, as a separate nation do. So this is the ideology that the Qaeda wanted, that the Muslims should be free, and they can adopt any means to promote and protect their economic, social, political, and cultural interests. As the separate nation of the homeland, separate homeland will be become of Muslims. They can interest on the economics and socials and politicals. They can share their cultural ways. They can share their parents and activities and movement and the democracies. So this was for the Muslims. Then they have the power. They are a ruler. They can be a separate. They must be separate land. He said Hindus and Muslims belong to different religious philosophies, social custom, and literary traditions. So they neither intermarry nor eat together, and indeed they belong to a different civilization, which are based mainly on conflicting ideas and conceptions. So this was the most important point that Qaeda shared, that they are very different. Hindu and Muslims are very different. They 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 not intermarry and not together, eat together. So this was the important and real. It is the reality. Then they can't eat together. So then how can they live as a one nations? So this was the ideology of Qaid Azam. Then he shared and he acted and Pakistan came into being, and this was needly in this time. So Qaeda Azam ideology was a key for the Muslims. So second is Allama Iqbal's thoughts on ideology of Pakistan. So what was the Allama Iqbal's thoughts and on the ideology of Pakistan? Allama Iqbal was a philosopher and poetic. So Iqbal believed in separate identity of Muslims as a nations. He said, Islam guides the mankind in every aspect of worldly life and therefore must be enforced in Islamic states as a code of life. So he said that the Muslims should have a separate homeland as they uh, uh, as they spend their life freely, as do what they want, as every nation do in their homeland. So it was the uh, Allama Iqbal's ideology that he totally support to the Muslims, and he wanted uh, well for the Muslims as they make the home separate homeland. He based the foundation of homeland on the religion, which later became ideology of Pakistan. Iqbal openly negated the concept of one nation in India and emphasized on separate and distinct image of the the Islam. So as I said that the Qaeda also negated that the one nation should one nation will be not comfortable for the both India and the Muslims. So and also the Allama Iqbal's negated that the one nation will be not better, and Muslims should have a separate homeland as they freely do, as they freely pray, as they uh, play their economical cultures and do they what they want. Iqbal considered the establishment of Pakistan very essential for restoration of national and religious identity of Islam. I am fully convinced that Muslims of India will ultimately have to establish a separate homeland, and there would be no possibility of peace until or unless Muslims are recognized as a separate nation as they have their own cultures. So he said to Muslims of India that the, they should be make the separate homeland, otherwise they cannot live their life freely, and they will be under the be more dangerous, and it will be not good for the Muslims. So he completely forced to the ideology of the Islam. The homeland nation should be Islamic nation. Islam homeland should be separate as Muslims freely pray. Iqbal compared the Western culture with Islam and reached at the conclusion that mankind's emancipation and welfare lay in the adoption of Islam as a way of life. So Islam, Allama Iqbal's the compare the Western cultures and Western activities, and he completely reached a conclusion that he said that Islam is only a great way of the living life, and Islam should be Muslims should be apply the Islam to rules and Islamic Islamic way of life. That is only key that is Muslims can be free. So topic is and students role played in Pakistan. So what was the Muslims and what was the women and students role in the freedom of Pakistan? So it was the brilliant the uh, role played by the women and students. And Qaeda Muhammad al Jinnah, founder of Pakistan, himself reiterated that important of nation whose women are side by side with men. He said, no nation can rise to the night height of glory unless your women are side by side with you. So he said that uh, uh, we should be support to the women's because they are also the fighting for the freedoms, and unless we a nation can't go in the big height as if their women are in the under the homes. So we should be separate to the women's. We are victim of evil customs. It's crime against humanity that our women are shut up within the four walls of houses as parents. So it will be a very bad decision that women should live in the only in the home, and they do as the wife home. So it will be not good. So women's role was brilliant in the freedom of the Pakistans. They did very good job in the freedom of Pakistan. So what was the Fatima Jinnah's role? Fatima was the teaching Muslim women to stand should shoulder to shoulder with men during the freedoms. So she was the supporting to Muslim women and the freedom of the Pakistans as her brother was leader and supporting to the men's and women's. She was also supporting to the women's. Numerous pictures of the period show Fatima Jinnah walking along Jinnah and not behind him. The message was loud and clear, and it was one both the brother and sister wished to convey to the nations. So, as the Qaid Azam was struggling and Qaid Azam was fighting for the Muslims as separate nations, and also Fatima Jinnah was fighting and struggling and the encouraging to the women for the freedom of the Pakistans. Begum Rana Liaquat Ali, what was her role in the for women and Pakistans? She launched program for women's development in the newly founded country. Later started her career as a political leader that lasted decade. Begum Rana served Pakistan's ambassador to the Netherlands in the 1950s as ambassador to Italy in the 1960s. From 1973 to 1976. She did good job for the women, and she supported to women when after the freedom of the Pakistan's establishment of the Pakistan. She encouraged. She also encouraged to the women, and they come out the women and busy them to the and jobs, and encourage them that the women are also the also do what as men's do in the country. Lady Abdullah Harun, she was the founder of women's organization in Sindh known as Anjuman-e Khwateen. The key purpose of organization was to perk up the deteriorating economic and social condition of the women's Sindh. She was big supporter of females education and set a school at her home to educate women of her area. So she was the big supporter of the women's they as educate to women's and establish women's educations, and come out to the women's in the education, and um, be powerful in the country. So second is what was students' role in the freedom of Pakistan. Students played a significant role in Pakistan's historical freedom struggle. Our history serves as an inspiration and discovery for our students to realize not only their power but also their distinct role in the valiant struggle to build up Pakistan into progressive, democratic and economically prosperous state. So students' role was the, very strong, and they are young as the guided by the big leaders, and they were the supporting the movement of the Pakistans and Qaid Azams. They discussed with the Qaid Azams, and Qaid Azam also was the guided to the students then and what should do, and they were the setting the address of the Qaid Azams, and were supporting to the Qaid Azam fully, and following to the Qaid Azams. And they also struggled and in the freedom of the Pakistan. So third topic is Aryans. Aryan arrived in 15 B.C. migrated from the South Russia with a superior and chariot conquered Indus region, who were the Aryans, invented from Central Europe, Russia, entered India through the Khyber Pass, herder in search of pasture. So Aryans were the people that they were the fighter, and they were they loved to the fight, and they not stay in the particular place. They go to the place, and their work was only they fight they live to love to fight, and they always visited the many places. What kind of were uh, people were they? They were warlike and nomadic herdsmen. So they were the as I said that they were the warlike, and they were the full they visited with the full families and animals, having animals and horses. They when they fight with the horses to horses, and they use the big arrows and bows. So this was the Aryans starting, and Aryans was the mostly their cultures and their uh, worship is like the India's, and India's also having a same culture and the worship. They are also uh, still they are praying and worshipping like the Aryans. Aryan religious belief developed. The Aryan were polytheists, and they worshipped gods who embodied natural forces such as sky, sun, storm, and fires. So they were the natural. They were worshipping the naturals like sky, sun, storm, and fires. So still as the Hindus are also in the praying and worshipping of the fires and skies. So the the Indians are following the Aryans, and they also support to the foreigners, and still they are applying the formulas and cultural formulas of the Aryans. So my third topic is ethnicity, culture, and ethnicity in Pakistan. The major group in Pakistan are Punjabi, Sindhi, Baloch, Pashto, Saraiki, etc., including Kashmir, Kailash, Sindhu, Burshono, Wakhas, Khowar, Hazara, Shine, Kalyu, Balets, and Jets. So these are the Shimal, including Kashmir, Kailash. These are the Shimal ethnicity in Pakistan. So these are in the out very out of the Pakistans. These are not popular, but I will discuss the popular ethnicity in the Pakistans. Popular ethnicity first number is the Punjab is a province Pakistan. The capital of Punjab is Lahore. Punjab has a population of 180 million people, so it is the first in population of the in Pakistan. The population of Punjab in Pakistan is estimated to be 79 21% Muslims with Sunni and Hanifi majority. So also including there is also living the Sikhs and the Muslims, but as the majority of the Muslims are big in the Punjab. The largest non-Muslim minority is Christian and make up 2.3% of populations. The culture comprises of written literature and art, cuisines, military tradition, agriculture, and spoken language. So their culture is literature, and their culture is very popular in the Pakistan. So Sindh is third largest province of Pakistan by area, second largest province by population after Punjab. Sindh is known for its distinct culture, which is strongly influenced by Sufism and important marker of Sindh identity for both Hindus and has Pakistan highest percentage of Hindus resident and Muslims in the province. So here in Sindh is a highest majority of the Hindus living in the Sindh, and also included Muslims, but the 8% Hindus are living in the Sindh. The culture Sindh has been shaped by the largely desert region. The roots of Sindh culture and civilization are believed to trace back to one of the world's oldest civilization, the Indus Valley civilizations. So their culture is very old. They're like they yearly celebrate the culture of Topi Ajrak, and but they have also different cultures they celebrate. Their cultures are very old. So Balochistan is one of the four provinces of Pakistan. It is the largest province in the term of land area, forming the southwestern region of the country. Virtually all Baloch in Pakistan are Muslims, with the towering majority being Sunnis. Shias stand including six, six, four, seven, 7, 8%. So Muslims majority are upper in the Balochistan. There is all Muslims living in the Balochistan. The culture of the Balochistan is full of tradition, art and craft. Balochi embroidery is one of the most popular art and craft which are done by females. So their their famous culture is the embroidery. The movements do it in with their hands, and this is the very popular culture of the uh, Balochistan. This is the representative to the Balochistan in as a culture. Thank you very much.